welcome in the sewing room. We're going to do something fun. Last year I made a pair of quilted overalls, and I was so sad because they did not fit. I did not try them on before I did all that work to them, and I was heartbroken because they were so stinking cute. So I'm at it again. And since I've gotten so many new subscribers that may not have seen that, I thought, you know what? Why not do it with them? So here we are. I have already ripped these overalls apart, and that took me literally forever. I started by taking off my pockets, my front top pocket and my two rear pockets, okay? Because I'm going to put these back on. Then I ripped out the hems of both legs because you have to do that. Then you want to rip out both leg seams, okay? Inside and outside the side and the inside leg seams. You want to rip that out. And as you come up the side here, on the back, you've got this right here. You just want to leave that. Do not rip this off. You want to leave that on. And on the front, you do not want to rip this pocket piece apart. You want to leave all this on. This will stay denim, okay? Because I guess you could rip it apart if you wanted to, but I'm not going to. Because I like a little bit of denim left on mine. Then you want to rip this seam right here out of your front, okay? So that you can do your front inseam seam. You have to rip this seam at the waist out on the front, okay? Does that make sense? I hope I've made lots of sense to you all with this mess. And see, I even cut a hole in this, but that's okay because I'm going to cover it with fabric and I'm going to stitch right over to stitch it right up. No worries. So if you happen to have some that have holes in them, they're fine. Okay, here's this one. This is the front piece as we have it right now. Okay, do you see that? See this? This right here was the way the front was. Okay, and this is like this because that's what made your little fake fly in the front. Okay, all right, there's our front piece. Now here's our back piece. And y'all, these have been laying around here and they're just kind of wallered and they're probably every which way. Here's our back piece. Okay, let's get them all turned around here. Okay, like I said, you've got to do your side seams, and we've done that, okay? Our side seam was all the way up to here, to right here. That's where our side leg seam came to. See that? We've ripped that out. These look humongous now that I've got them all ripped apart. And then on the back, you have to take out your center back seam, okay? Because that you've got to be able to lay your pieces on here. And this overlaps. Do you see that? Do you see how that overlaps to that? This right in here, I will leave denim, okay? So this piece I will bring up here, and I will turn it under and press it and stitch it down. On this side, I will bring it up under here, all the way to here, okay? And you want to cover that. Do not worry about this. You're not covering this part. This part stays. So when you bring it to the side, I'll show you what to do when we get there. But for right now, we've just got them completely ripped apart. Okay? Now then, here's our fabric we're going to use. This is a cheater print. This is a Lori Holt Vintage Happy, says. And it's just one of these, I don't even know what you call this particular quilt pattern, but that's what it is. It's just got all kinds. It's got little coat hangers. It's got flowers. It's got just, it's just fun. It's just all kinds of fun. I don't even know. It's got little irons. It's from her Happy Place fabric, which is what I did the ironing board cover out of. It's all sewing related and quilting related. There's some clothespins, some irons, um, some washing instructions, um, directions off of a pattern, looks like a little piece. Just all kinds of fun stuff. Just all kinds of fun stuff that we just love. Now then, what we do with these is we're going to lay this down. You're going to take one piece. I'm going to start with the front. That's the back. Okay, let's start. Well, let's just go ahead and start with the back. I mean, it really doesn't matter how we do it. We just have to start somewhere. We just have to start somewhere. Okay. And if we can do it, we're going to lay them like this and see if they're the same. And then we can, and I think they are the same. That way we do not have to unfold our fabric. We can leave it folded. Just line this up just like this. I need more space. Let me clear off some room here. Scoot y'all back here. Raise you up just a little bit. Turn you down. Now then we can maybe get, we've got a little, whoa, mercy. Had y'all sitting on top of some tape there, I think. Okay, how's this? Is this better? Turn y'all around just a little bit. Down. All right, let's try this. All right, now then. I'm going to bring this down all the way to the bottom here. And all the way over here, just like this. And if your seams want to turn in like this, just cut a little extra along that edge. Or you can press them all out flat if you want to beforehand. That's perfectly all right. And y'all can see I cut some of that seam part when I was trying to rip it out. Y'all, that was the toughest thing to do. It really, really was tough to do. Okay, now then we're going to pin this down here. And I'm going to hem mine up a little bit shorter than this. So that's the reason I've got it way down there at the bottom. But I did try these on and they do fit. So that's a plus, right? Now this you want to turn back. Okay, right here. This is this part right here. Right here. You want to turn that back because you don't want to cut that. You just want to cut up around it. So I'm just going to turn it back in like that. And that'll be just fine. Okay. I'm just putting a few pins in. You don't have to put a whole lot of pins in. Hope I've got enough fabric. I think I will have. If I don't, I've got some of this same line of fabric over here in yardage that I'll now when I get to here, I'm just going to cut up through here just like this. So I got plenty of fabric. And then I will make do on the back here when I get ready. But I want to make sure I've got plenty of fabric. These stay the same. You don't mess with those at all. No need to worry about that. Okay? So let's roll this on up here, right like this. Actually, you don't even need to worry about anything up past that right there. So let's slide this down and see if we can get our front on here. Okay, now then, there's one front leg. Here's the other front leg. Mhm. Yes, we're going to have plenty of fabric. I'm going to pull this up just a little bit, just like that. Make sure I've got plenty to cut right in there. Because I'd rather cut it too big and be able to trim it down than to not cut it big enough and then, you know, we're up the creek without a paddle, right? Okay, I'm going to cut this like this, okay? These are our two legs. And then I'll come back and I'll lay our top up there and cut it separate, all right? Because this in the middle will stay the denim. All right, so let's stick us some pins in here. And these pockets you're just going to leave laying over here to the side until we're all finished. And like I said, if your piece, you really want to cut your pieces too big, because once you quilt them on here, then you can cut them down to match the actual overall pieces. Okay, so here we go. Are y'all ready? Are you ready? Eek! All right. First off, I'm just going to cut right across here. Right like that. Like I said, I'm cutting these big because well, these are the best scissors. I swear I tell y'all that all the time, but they truly are the absolute best scissors ever. Okay, so I think I'm just going to leave that like this and then get it on there good and straight and start stitching it, okay? Now then, let's do this piece right here. And actually, I think I want to move it over so I'll have more of this left on the fold. If you've not watched my video about my pin cushion, go watch it because you'll want one. You will. You will. You will want one. I'm just going to cut this. I'm going to cut it right straight across. Just like that. And then I'm going to cut right up through here. Like I said, we're giving lots of extra. I love it when your scissors are good and sharp and they'll just slice right through that fabric. Makes it nice, you all. Right now then, we've got to cut this piece out, okay? These are our front legs. Now we've got to cut out this piece right here. And I usually I will turn it in here, turn it in the sides, and I'll turn it in here. I used to decorate overalls for my daughter when she was little, and I had so much fun doing it. I mean, just so much fun. Okay, so I just need one piece of this. What do I do with my scissors? Here they are. So I just need to cut this right here through the middle. There we go. Now then, I can fold this piece up, and I can fold this piece up to go for something else. So this took 3 yards of fabric, you all. 3 yards. So if you want to do it, you need 3 yards. This is for an adult size large. Okay? And of course, the bigger it is, the more fabric you need. But basically, you need your length. And you need about 3 yards. Okay, so when I get this right here stitched on, before I stitch it on, before I quilt this top piece, I will turn this under straight across, and I'll stitch it right across here, just like this. Top stitch it right there. I'll turn it under here, and I will come right here to this seam, and I will stitch it on straight across here. And the reason I'm leaving this denim is because it's got the buttonholes right here. Bring y'all over here so you can get down here so you can see. Because it's got the buttonholes right here. And you need to be able to use those buttonholes, okay? And I'm leaving denim here and on the back pockets and up here in the straps. So leave little bits of denim here and there. It's absolutely adorable that way. All right. So this is the way I do this top piece. And then I'm going to quilt around each one of these just like this. I'll come here, here. I'll just, boom, 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 and boom. Just around each one of these, all over the quilt, all over the fabric. And if you want to just quilt it straight up and down, or however you want to do it, you can do it. You don't really even have to quilt it. You can put batting in behind it if you want to, make it heavier, more like it was actually a quilt, but it's going to be kind of hot if you do that. So, and the same thing I'll do here. I'll quilt all of this, but I will make sure my pockets are free. I'll pull my pockets out like that, and then I'll quilt all of this. But I will turn that under and stitch it down, leaving this edge right here, okay, to show. All right, and it'll come up into here because this then will go back in here, and we'll top stitch that back down in the very end, okay? See that? And we'll have our fabric here. It'll go up under there. It'll be so cute, just adorable. All right, I'm going to get to laying my pieces together and get to stitching them, okay? Because now then we've got our legs. I'll get y'all off of this one here at the top. Our leg pieces, like I said, you just have to, these pieces get very hard to manage. So you just kind of have to go with it, as they say. And I think I will cut the selvage off of this because, I love it. I want to keep it. And I've got plenty to do that. I can cut that selvage off of here. You just lay this on here, just like this. And you just start stitching until you get it all stitched. Okay? And then you're good to go. So just lay it on there and start right up here and just start stitching. And I'll just probably stitch circles and a circle and a circle and a circle. I don't know exactly how until I get over there at the machine, but I know I'm going to stitch like this right here around each one of those. All right. And I'm just going to start stitching it all on there. And I'll be back when I get all my pieces quilted onto my jeans. Okay. And that may be a day or two because, well, I did them before and it took a while. So with that being said, I'm going to leave you here with this, and I'm going to start stitching. All righty, y'all can see the sun's coming in my window. See my shadows? This is the shadow of you all right here. And what this is this right here. We're starting our overalls, and here we've got that turned down and pressed right here. Pressed here, turned it up here, and pressed it. All right. And then I used this right here, quilt basting spray. Can y'all see that? Hope you can. I used this right here, sprayed it good, and pressed it down. I didn't press it with that, I pressed it with my hands. Okay, just pushed it down with my hands. Now then, because I don't want a raw edge here, I'm going to cut this right like this. And then I'm going to turn this. Let's see if I can press it like this, and then I'll have me a little guide to go by maybe. Just going to turn this in right like this, okay? Just here along this edge. And we're going to press it. Right like that. All right. This has got this right here. See that? Now this right here's got a little tab right there. I'm just going to turn that right back right like that. Right like that. And then I'm going to stick a pin in it. I've already took my pin cushion off. Okay, now then we're going to do the same thing on this side. This is just kind of showing me where my line needs to be. Okay, see that? Just kind of have a little indentation. It's hard to see the way the light is, I know. This right here, we're going to do the same way. Just turn it under there and press it down. And we have this at the bottom again. So I'm just going to turn that up right in like that. All right, now then, put a pin on this. Now then, this piece is ready to go to the machine to be quilted. Make sure I got plenty of stick-a-me stuff because I don't want it to move. The first thing I will do is stitch right straight around this all the way around to marry these two pieces together forever and ever till death do they part, or till you decide to rip it out. And right around here, 1/4 inch or about 1/8 of an inch in, all the way around this piece. This is your top bib piece, okay? Now then, for our leg pieces, Lord mercy, y'all, I done lost them. Here they are. I've lost them. I've lost them. These are our front leg pieces right here. Okay? And for these, I'm just going to show y'all how to do one, then I'll do the other one off camera. First off, we need to press this You don't have to, but I'm going to. Because it makes it a little easier. All right, now then, we need to make sure that our pocket is up here out of the way, okay? So, I'm going to pin it right back here. So that we know that it is out of the way. Just press and press and iron and iron. That's what we do, isn't it? Okay, now then, I think I've got those pressed out fairly well. But then you want to make sure if you've got a one-way design print, and I did not think this one was, but come to find out it is. Sure is, but that's okay because I've got them all cut right. This right here is going one way, those words. So, unless you want to stand on your head to read it, turn it up this direction, okay? And you want to kind of make sure you get it on there straight. Actually, I'm going to do it this way so I can see it a little bit better. I'm going to press this piece good. Just get it pressed, all the wrinkles out of it. And I like to use this right here. I don't know if y'all use this stuff or not, but I love it. I love the way it smells. It just smells so clean. It's got a real good clean smell to it, I think. Is my mic working? I hope. Because I checked it. Yeah, we're still going. Y'all ain't these mics. I'm trying to do better by you all. Some of y'all just get real irate if the sound goes away, and I'm so sorry, but that's just me up here by myself. I don't have videographers or sound people or editors or anything else. It's just little old me up here in the attic sewing. It's just me in the attic of sewing. Okie doke, here we go. This is going up right. Yes, this is the top up here. All right, so we want to make sure we've got our top up here at the top. We want to make sure that we're laying it down here straight. Okay. Okie doke. I'm going to pull this down some. Make sure I have plenty up there at the top. Now then, I'm going to start using my basting spray. Okay. I like to spray both pieces so that they will stick and play real nice together. Okay. And I usually do it right like this. And they will stick down wonderfully. And going to start rolling this from this side so I can get all this up here. This is like laying down contact paper. Y'all remember that old sticky contact paper you used to get? I think you can still buy it. All right, now then, there's that piece. This is the way you do to get it ready to take to the sewing machine. Do the same thing with your back pieces. Leave all of the edges exposed on your back pieces. Just like around your front legs, you don't have to turn anything in right now. Okay, you just want to kind of get it laid on there, but leave you some edges. So if you need to turn something under, you can. So don't quilt all the way to the edge of every piece. The bottom of your legs, yes, quilt all the way through. Matter of fact, your front legs, you can quilt the whole thing except for around that pocket. You want to leave room to turn that back under, okay? And I'll come back before we get ready to do that, and I'll show you how to do it. Okay, good morning, everybody. It's another day. I've left my hair down today. I don't know if I can stand it or not, but I'm going to try. I'm back on these overalls here. I'm going to show you all what I do around the edges that are not going in a seam, okay? And how do we do that to make them look very pretty and professional, okay? Without completely taking everything apart and remaking it. And it's easy peasy. It really is. Oh, I didn't get my pin cushion on this morning yet. Let's put our pin cushion on because we need it. Yeah, we do. We need our pin cushion. If y'all have not watched this video, go back and watch it because you'll fall in love with this and you'll go, oh my mercy, I need to make one of those. I never could work these dang pin things. I did better when I was pinning it on with a safety pin, y'all. Okay, I got it now. And I did go back and put me a jar top on the back of it so I don't stick myself. Yes, do that so you don't stick yourself all the time. Then you can just poke away without poking yourself. All right. I'm going to turn y'all down here. I hope you can see this because these fabrics are from the same grouping of fabrics. I hope y'all can see what I'm doing here. Maybe you can. Okie doke. Turn y'all down. All right. Can you see this good? I think you can. All right. This right here will be covered, but we still want it to be pretty because we don't want an ugly edge on the back. Okay. And this all the way down to here, is like that. So want to make sure we get this up here to the top. We're going to turn this under to start with, right like that. And we're going to press it. The good hot iron. And I like steam. Some people don't like to press things with steam. I love steam. It takes your wrinkles out, people. It does. I've already done this other side. All right, here we go. Right like this. And you just want to kind of press it down. Make sure you've got enough fabric here and there. Make sure you've got it right side up. All this good stuff that we need to do. All right. Now then, you want to find the edge right here. And I like to do that just by running my iron right along through there. And then you can kind of makes your little indentation right along here. You can barely see it. Or you can turn it over. But you know that this is not the easiest thing in the world to flip over, you all. No, it is not. And this down through here, Okay, we're going to do one side and then we're going to turn it and do the other side, okay? All right, so we need to come out through here, and I'm gonna cut very generously. Leave a very generous piece around here because I can always cut more off once I kind of see where I'm at. See this? And just clip in there. Not all the way, because you want to clip it so that it'll turn pretty. Because if you don't clip it, it's not going to turn pretty. Okay? And see, I've left a good 1.5 inches or so there. But like I said, okay, we're going to cut off a little bit more because that's too much. Cut off about a 1/2 inch up through there. And then this should fold in good. These are just little scraps. These will go into our crumbs that we have that we'll make another crumb mat with. Yeah, we will. We'll make another crumb mat. I come in here and clip this. Well, I'm excited to get these done so I can wear them. I've wanted these for so long. I wanted them last year, and after I did that one pair and they didn't fit, I just didn't have the heart to do another pair, and I didn't know if I'd even do these. When I first bought them, I thought, you know what, I don't even know if I can bring myself to do that, but I did. All right, now I'm leaving just this very little edge right here. Can y'all see that right here? I'm leaving just this little seam edge right there, all the way up through there. And we're going to pin this down. Okay? As we turn it, we're going to pin it down. Just want to turn it under all the way around. And the reason you want to do this now is because when you're quilting it, you can't come back and turn it under later because you've stitched that. So you need to do this now. Comes Mr. Andy up the steps. No, we're going to go to Shirley's after a while. We'll need 5. We're going to Shirley's. You want to go eat dinner with Shirley and Katie? All right, we're going to go eat with Shirley and Katie. Friend is making dinner for us tonight. Yay! She called this morning and said, do you want to come and eat dinner with me and Katie? I said yes. Didn't even ask what she's cooking. She told me, but I didn't ask. All right, now you're going to turn this in right here along this side. Now on this side right here, what you want to do is you want to trim this right here. Just snip it straight in. Just like that, okay? And turn this under. A whole lot or a little bit, it does not matter. That's all up to you if you want to cut that off, but I don't see the need, so I'm just going to leave it. Pull that down through there, and you want to pin this, okay? Just like so. Now this will be in your seam, all right? We're going to press this down good. And then we're going to come over to the other side. All right, let's bring this around here so y'all can see this. I hope you can see it well enough on here, even though it is kind of a mess here. Need to turn this down here just a little, at least a little bit more. Alrighty, now then, this piece is ready to be quilted. Yay! Yippee! Are y'all excited as I am? I'm very excited. All right, I'm going to bring y'all over here to the machine now. All right, and I'm going to show you what we do with our, I did our front pieces, and I ended up taking this completely off of the bib. It just had a few stitches left, and I went, dang, it'll be a lot easier to do if I just do that. All right, so we've got it all on here. Okay. But what do we do right here with our pocket? You know, I told y'all just to save it for later. And then I got to thinking we can't save it for later because we've got to turn it under right here. So let's take it over here to the ironing board right here. Turn y'all this way. We're going to do it the same way. But you want to make sure everything is pressed out good and even and straight all the way around. Right here. And yes, that's a little bit short. I know somebody's going to say that, but that's the seam and it goes right up through there, and that's the selvage, and that's the very center of my crotch, and I doubt very seriously anybody's ever going to look at that but me. So I cannot refigure this because I need the fabric on this side over here for the side where somebody might see it. Here again, we're doing this the same way we did the back. See that? I might cut in just a little bit more. And then we're going to clip it. Okay? There. Okay. We're going to turn this under. And there again, I'm leaving just this little bit. This is a double seam. And I want to bring this to this first seam right here. Just like that. And you want to pin it. And you only want to pin through this top part of this pocket, because we're going to sew this right around through here. Bring this all the way over to the corner. And part of this, you will not be able to stitch down all the way to this corner because this is in a seam, nor up here. But you can leave just a tiny little bit right there because it's going to be stitched in here and it's going to be stitched here. So that little bit right there will be no problem whatsoever. Okay? There again, you need to make sure that you've got it all pressed out good, all the way down with no wrinkles before you start to quilt this. Okay. So let's go over here to the machine and I'll show you how we do that. Oh, I knocked my pockets in the floor. We'll have to have those put back on because, you know, we like our pockets, don't we? All right, now to sew this, I'm going to show you how you do it, okay? You want to pull this up right here. See this? You want to make sure that that is pulled away and that you're only stitching on this right here, okay? You want to make sure you've got it like this. Pull that way back out of the way, and like I said, like this right here. And you just want to top stitch that. And I'm going slow because I want to make sure that I don't catch anything. Got my pins hooking together here. Just want to make sure you get it up here as far as you can. But like I said, don't sweat it because you can't get it all the way to the top. Because it's going to be very well in place. You just need that edge done so that it'll hold it all down. Okay? There you go. And that's how pretty our pocket pieces will be. Then, to start the quilting process, you want to make sure this is out of the way. Now, if you don't care about sewing up your pocket, you can just lay it down flat and sew it all up. But I like my pockets. I do. So, therefore, I'm pulling this back this direction in order to start quilting this. And this, I'm quilting this way in circles. And each one is a circle. And you just have to do circles, okay? And make sure that it all stays good and flat. You can pin it, but I use the basting spray. And I'm just stitching inside these little pieces just a hair bit. And all this up and around here, I'm going very slow because I don't want to catch my pocket. Okay? Like I said, you just want to stitch however your fabric is. Now, if you have pieces of fabric and you want to do a quilt as you go, who knows, we may do that later. If you have a long arm, you might be able to do this on that. I don't know. Make sure you got your pocket over here out of the way. All right, see how I did that? And then you'll come here and you'll do this circle. And then you'll do the next circle. And you'll just complete this until you've got all your pieces done. Now here is our top bib. It is finished, except for adding our pocket. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to find my pocket right here. And see how I can turn it over and I can still see where my pocket was? You're going to do this right here. And you're going to lay it on here, and you're going to find where this pocket went. Like this right here. Right there and right there. Okay? Then you're going to pin it. Just like that. And over here, you're going to find that place, and you're going to lay it right there, and you're going to pin it. And then you'll be able to see that you're down here. You're going to pin it. And then you're going to stitch it. And if you want to use this gold denim thread, buy you some. Right now, I'm just going to stitch it on here with this, and I may come back, but this stitching is still there. So, I'm thinking if I just stitch right over this, it'll be just fine. If you've left your threads. Now, if you pulled all your threads out, that might not work. All right, let's start this one right here. Come back down around this way. So I'm double stitching this just like it was double stitched, okay? Right on top of this other stitching line, just right on top of it. All right, and there's our bib, ready to go back on our overalls. Y'all, these are going to be so cute. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. I think these are going to be even cuter than the ones I did last year, and that's hard to believe, but I think they are. I think they are. All right, now then, y'all have got all your pieces ready. Go get them quilted. And when you get them quilted, come back, and we'll put this together, okay? Well, welcome back in the sewing room. We're going to do the second half of our overalls. Got them all quilted, and I've got lots of strings, but I'll be clipping strings from now on probably, but you know what, that's okay. These are mine. I'm so excited to get to wear them. Yes, I am. I am. Very excited. There's Coconut wanting back downstairs. Daddy's going downstairs so she can go with him. Yes, she can. All right. They're all quilted. All of our pieces. See, the inside looks like this with lots of little strings. I'll come through here and get all that when I'm all done. But now what we need to do is put our pockets back on. Okay, we need to get our back pockets. You know, we did our bib pocket. Now we need to get our back pockets back on where they belong. And I'm not sure which side is which. This is the other front leg, two front legs and a bib in the back. Okay, there's one pocket. The other pocket's here, y'all. I saw it just a minute ago. And this goes on the left side, right, goes toward the middle. The little Levi's tag goes toward the middle. So then, ouch, you come up here and you find where this was, right like this. And you just lay that back down on there, just like that. And you put you some pins in it. See if I've got this dark orange thread or gold. I think I do right over there, and I think that might be what I use. Now I'm going to pull this out. How many times I've stuck myself with this, that more than I care to admit. All right, now then, let's make sure this one lines up, and it does perfectly right there. I don't like pins. They stick. And I know they have a purpose and so on and so forth, but they stick you. And I don't like that. Look at that. Isn't that going to be just the cutest thing ever? I cannot wait to wear this. Lord mercy, y'all, I've got strings going everywhere. All right, I'm going to turn y'all this way because we got a little more room to work here. Here's the other pocket. And it goes right here. I'll make sure you get them on straight. And not crooked. And then we're going to stitch it. And I'm going to double stitch it because it was originally double stitched. And I'm going to double stitch it. That looks crooked. It's really not. Ouch. That's where it goes. If it's crooked, it was originally crooked. All right, I've got this thread right here. Oh, hit my knee. Y'all, I'm just beating and banging. I need more space up here, more wall space. So I can get all my things out from under my table so I don't beat my knees to death. But I don't have it. So we use what we got. And I'll figure it out. All right, now then, let's put this thread, turn y'all around here. I'm going to put this up here and take the white off. Got me a little note there to check my microphone, y'all. I'm trying to do better. Somebody asked me to turn the volume up. I can't do that necessarily. Once a video goes up, there's nothing I can do to edit it. If the volume's not high enough, you'll just have to turn your volume up. I try to make it an even, I don't want to make it too loud, which I can up the decibels when I'm editing it. But when I do that, it doesn't make sound quality good. So I'm trying to use a microphone. My voice really does not carry. If I'm in a crowd of people, a lot of people can't hear me because my voice doesn't carry well. And I try to talk to y'all really loud. I do. But sometimes it just doesn't work. So here we go. We're going to sew these pockets back on here. And then I'll come back when I get the pockets sewn on. And we're going to start just putting the whole thing back together. We just have a few seams to make. And then it'll be finished. And yes, we can wear them. Yay! Alrighty. Looks like it's clouding up there. Now then, the next thing we're going to do is put our back together. You know, we had to rip out the center back seam. We're going to get that back together. And then we're going to put our center front back together and our bib back on the front. Okay? That's the next 3 steps. So the first one, we're going to put our back together. Okay? Turn y'all down so you can see. Want to make sure we get them all turned the right direction. Like so. Okay, this needs to be turned under, just like this. See that? First, let's trim this out right here. Let's grab some good sharp scissors. And you want to just cut that right along that edge, because that's where we're going to make our seam. Alrighty. Now then, that and scraps. All right. Now then, this just turns down to right here, just like this. Okay. And I'm just going to put some pins in this, because I got to figure this out just a little bit. But this just turns under, and this will be top stitched. Okay. This right here gets top stitched right onto here, just like this. But this comes in right on here and gets top stitched right onto that. Somehow. We've got to figure this out, because this was stitched on the top of this. And this right here is the top of this. Right, like this. All right. That comes down to a point right there. And that is a point that I will be double stitching or triple stitching across that, because but I do know that this goes right like this. Okay, let's cut off all these little strings. Y'all can buy, this is just some old thread that I had that happened to be this same gold color, but you can buy a specific thread that is the color of jeans. I have seen it. I just never needed to purchase it because I had some. But I have seen it. All right, let's go on down through here and keep pinning this. And this has to be pinned because it has to be flat. Okay. Let's just come down through here and do this right here. Alrighty, now then, we're going to sew this seam, okay? Right down through here. And I'm going to double stitch it. Yes, I am, because this one was double stitched, and I'm going to double stitch mine, okay? And you can sew right along these lines because you can see them right here, okay? And you can sew them right along those lines. And you want to go slow when you're sewing through thick fabrics because your needle can break, it can get caught because your fabrics are so thick, and it can just really tear things up. And you don't want to do that. You just want to go kind of slow. Pull your pins out as you go. Remember when I was little, Mama used to sew, and I'd say, let me pull the pins out. Anything. I wanted to do whatever my mama was doing. It did not matter what my mama was doing. I wanted to do it too. I wanted to be just like my mama. And I don't know that I am, but I've tried to make her proud all these years with my sewing and my cooking and my mothering and my wifing and all that. I've got my pins in this part backwards. All right, here's the back together, just like this. Now then, we need to trim this right up through here. You just want to trim it even with this fabric that you've got right here that you're going to be sewing. And you want to do the inside leg seam as well. And then again, the inside and the outside legs. These will make great scraps, you all. All these extra little pieces will go straight into the scrap bin, and they'll be beautiful in something. One day down the road, who knows, but we'll make something with them. I'm sure that we will. All righty. Now then, our back is ready to attach to our front. Now let's get our front ready. Okay, so first off, we need to trim this. Just like you did the back, just right along the edge of your fabric. Okay, now we've got to do our front center seam, which goes down in our crotch, okay? So, if you recall, when we took these apart, it had a fake fly. That's what I call it, a fake fly right here. All right? So, we want to put our fake fly back. And the way you do that is you stitch right down through here, and then you open this up and you lay this over and you top stitch it around here, okay? And back up this seam. So let's get this done. And then we'll put our top bib on it. Back stitch when you start and you stop. And this I did clip instead of pin, so I wouldn't get stuck, because I don't like things that stick me. All right, now then, this then folds like this. See, you can leave it just like that if that's what you want to do. But I think the stitching and the fake fly is kind of cute. So, and since we've got it, you know, we're going to do it. What I need, let's mark this. Let's see if I can do this, because I don't have, let me just wind the bobbin. All right, I'll be back. Okay, I got me a bobbin wound. Now then we'll turn this over on this side right like this. I'm going to lay this right like this. And I'm going to stitch, because you can see these two lines of stitching right here. Okay? And we're just going to stitch right where those two lines were. Well, we will if we get us a thread. My thread was cut too short, I think, and it. Now it shouldn't come loose. We should be good to go. And then you come right back up this center right here. Then I'm going to turn and go right back the same way that I came. Double stitch it. Okay? It's right back down, right on top of that. Oh. Okay. Now then, see how that looks? Two lines and two lines all up around here. Isn't that cute? I think so. It just adds a little bit. We could have left that in the denim, but you know, we didn't. Okay, okie dokie. Now then, we got to put our top on. And if y'all remember, all we did was pull this out of here. So we just need to line this up. Right like this. And pin it. Y'all, these clips I got at the Dollar Tree, they're so handy. They're a little heavier and a little stronger than just your sewing clips. If you're working with anything heavy, they are very good for that. Now this will be heavy to sew this back on, you all. So you'll want to go very slow, and especially over this center right here. You'll want to go very slow because that's like multiple thicknesses of this denim, okay? All right, let's make sure our pockets are all okay on the back before we stitch it, and they are. All righty. Y'all, we're just about finished. We just got 3 more seams to go and then to hem them. All right. So, take that one off. See if we can get this under here. Put it all the way over there. Go slow. And back stitch when you start and you stop. You might even want to do it a couple of times. Every time I see a thread, I have to clip it, you all. You just want to stitch right back over where it was stitched before. Then it looks like it was never taken apart. Ouch. All right, now here we're coming up on this that is very thick. Go ahead and pull that pin out so I don't have anything else to. All right, and see it stopped. If you're going slow, it won't break your needle. All right. Now then, let's try it one more time. Let's reposition just a little bit. I'm going to back stitch right here just a few stitches. And it's right there on that really thick part that it does that. Now then, just have to go really slow or you'll end up breaking needles, breaking threads, tearing up your machine, all that stuff. So if you're sewing anything really thick, go slow. Don't go flying like a wild woman. Okay, I'm going to deem that to be okay because I don't think that's going to take a lot of stress. And I did stitch it a couple of times. All right. Now then, see, look at that. You cannot tell inside or out that these were ever taken apart. Yay! Now then, we're going to put them together front and back. Front and back. No more pins. You want to get them right sides together. Not me. I'm going to put them wrong sides together because so much of this was wrong sides together. These need to go right sides together. Raise y'all up. Right sides together, just like this. And right here to right here. Okay. And remember, your clips have a flat side and a rounded side. The flat side goes on the bottom and the rounded side goes on the top. And that way they slide on your machine and don't get caught and don't make bumps and humps. All right, are y'all ready to sew this up? And then I'll do the other side. I'll sew these up. Just gonna sew them straight up through here. And I'm just gonna use one. This was double stitch. I'm just gonna stitch it one time. You can double stitch it if you want to, but it was serged together, and I'm not using my serger, so it'll just have the one row of stitching, okay? We got one more seam to make. One more. The center leg seam, right up through the crotch area. You want to match these crotch seams, right like that. I'm going to put one of these great big fat clips on it because that's heavy. And then you're going to come down each leg, right like this. And we're going to put our clips. Pretty side up, which is the colored side. The clear side goes down because it is flat. And then we're going to sew this seam right back on top of where the seam was that we took out. And then we're going to hem them. And then they're finished and we can start to wear them as soon as it cools off just a little bit. And that'll be, honestly, before we can turn around hardly. It will be very, very soon. We've had some cool days that we could have worn them, but it has heated back up. And it is very warm today. As a matter of fact, we're getting ready to get a storm. It's been so warm today. It's been dry. We could use a little bit of rain. Although most of the crops are in at this point. The hay has been cut for the final time. The corn's been cut. So the rye that's on the fields can start to grow now. And then we have pretty green lush fields all winter long, and they're so pretty. Yes, they are very pretty. Nice green fields. All right, I'm going to sew this right up through here, going very slow over my center there. Back stitch when I start and I stop. Going very slow over the center point where the thickness is, because we've got lots of layers in there. Now then, all we got to do is hem them. Yes, all we have to do is hem them. Yes, we do. And I need to try them on first. So I'm going to show them to you and I'll hem them later. And I've got somebody here to make sure the hem is where it's supposed to be. Yes, I will. But for the most part, these are finished. And I'm tickled to death with them. Look at this. Look, 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 look. Oh my stars. These are the cutest things ever. Yes, they are. They are the cutest things ever. Look at this. Aren't they cute? They're way too long, which is fine. You know, that's fine because I've got to hem them. But look at them. Look at the back. Aren't these just the cutest things? Y'all need to make you some. We'll be the quilted overall ladies. Yes, we will. Oh, I can't wait to wear them. It'll get cold soon. Yes, it will. And I'll get to wear them. I've got to trim off all these, I call them hairy threads because they're just everywhere. And aren't they cute? I'm tickled to death with them. Tickled, tickled, tickled. Yes, I am. Yes, 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 I am. Cannot wait to wear these. Cannot wait. Y'all go thrift you some overalls. You can find them at a thrift store, or you can buy them. You might find some at Old Navy. These are Levi's. I think I got these from Belk. Last winter I ordered these. You can probably get some now. Just Google overalls. You can find them on Amazon. You can find them all kinds of places. Take them apart, lay your fabrics down, quilt it. Because once this is washed, all this will gather up. Yes, it'll look like it's been just like a big quilt. And quilt them, sew them back together, and you've got the cutest overalls ever. You really do. Really, really, really do. Cannot wait to wear these. I can wear any color shirt with them I want to. Pink, red, green, yellow, blue, white, yellow, and gold. Just whatever. I can wear any color. And I absolutely am in love with them. I am absolutely in love with my overalls. I am. You all will see me wearing these on camera probably quite a bit this winter because I love overalls. They're so comfortable. You got pockets. You can keep stuff in your pockets. Phone here, phone there, stick your phone up here. You know, there's just lots of pockets. They're comfortable, you all. They're just comfortable. And I know overalls get a bad rap because they think just old country people wear overalls. We all know something. I'm just an old country girl. Yes, I am. We live in the country. We live in the Appalachian Mountains, and it's Appalachian, not Appalachian. It's Appalachian. In case y'all need to know how to pronounce that, they're the Appalachian Mountains. And I live in the mountains. Well, not all the way back in the mountains. We live in a city, but I'm from here, born and raised, Northeast Tennessee, Southwest Virginia. Part of my time was spent in Southwest Virginia growing up. But my mama taught me to do all this fun stuff. Yes, she did. Cannot wait to get those hemmed up so I can wear them because I cannot wait to wear them. Cannot wait. I've got a denim jacket here. Don't know what we're going to do with it. I thrifted this denim jacket. And I honestly don't know what we're going to do with it yet. I don't. Haven't made up my mind. You know, last year we put our giraffe on the back of one and quilted our sleeves. I don't know. Maybe we'll do another quilted sleeve and put something else on the back of this one. I don't know. I just do not know. But we're going to do this jacket at some point in the future. So y'all stay tuned. I've got a quilt coming real soon. I've just about got all the pieces ready for a quilt made out of t-shirts, applique pieces, and flannel. Yes, it's going to be adorable, soft, comfy, cozy. You're going to love it. I'm going to love it. It's just going to be so cute. I've got that coming. I've got, of course, our Alice's quilt coming. Yes, I do. I've got to finish up our Tula blocks. We may do another quick video of that tonight after we eat dinner. It's at dinner time, getting close. So we may do that. I've got 2 or 3 more of these, and that's all. We'll have all these blocks finished. Yay! I'm getting kind of bored with it, and I think some of you all are too, because you're not really watching that video. But if you haven't watched any of them, go back and watch from the very beginning. I think there's 14 or 15 of these already up, and you can order the book. You can get started. This walks you through from easy to hard how to do lots of different tasks in making quilt blocks. It's a really good learning tool. If you're just new to quilting and just wanting to get started into quilting, this is a good book to start with, because you learn so many different things and you learn how things go together. Okay. So it's a really good book to start with. Alice's is the same thing. It will walk us through. Here it is. We're going to start this in January. If you want to quilt along with me, and a lot of you are quilting along with me, I'm so excited to get started on this. Go ahead, get this, go to the Etsy shop, download the organizing tool, because that is very essential. I found it almost, I couldn't get anything organized without it. It was really difficult. It was so easy. You carried it with you to the fabric store. If you've not watched that video, go back and watch that one. But we're going to do this, yes, starting in January. And I am going to go ahead and get my blocks cut out and organized. Okay, I'll come back when I get ready to start that, and I'll let y'all know how I'm doing it, in case you want to do the same thing. But not everybody's the same. Okay, not everybody likes to organize things the same way. You do what works for you. And we'll show you what I do and what works for me to stay organized when I'm doing a big project like this. And like the Tula, I did the Tula blocks the same way. But if you get all your cutting done, then you can just start to sew. And then you get all the sewing done, and then we'll come back and put the whole thing together. This one, I'm not putting the whole quilt together. I am going to use some of the blocks for a project that I'm getting real anxious to do. Yes, I am. And I hope you all will follow along and see the final, what I do with some of the blocks. I told you I was in a birthday club that swapped those blocks, and I have given away several of these blocks. I have, and there'll be more that I will give away, but I've got a ton of them that I'm keeping. Okay. And those are going into a project. Yes, they are. And I'm excited about that project. I can't wait to get that project going. I've got a lot of Christmas stuff coming. I've got 2 things over here already cut out, ready to do with you all. One is a crossbody bag that I'm very anxious to do. Another is a Christmas stocking that is absolutely gorgeous. And you definitely don't want to miss that one, because Christmas is coming and you're going to want to catch all those Christmas videos. I've got more things to make for Christmas. I've got more patterns I'm creating for you all. I am constantly thinking about you all, what I can sew, what I can show you, and how I can share my sewing with you. I get real excited about sewing, very, very exciting. I love to create. I just do. That's just me. If you've watched any of my cooking, you see I create my cooking. I just start throwing stuff together. Yeah, I do. And I've got to go down there right now and throw something in a pot for us to eat for supper. Yeah, I do. So I'm going to wrap this up right here. You all remember, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, because you don't want to miss a video. Hit the thumbs up button. It helps YouTube know what you like to watch, as well as lets them know that you like this type of content and others may like it as well. Don't forget to leave me some comments. I want to say that, and I want you to be nice in your comments. I've had a few I've had to take off lately because I want to tell you that I'm just one person. It's just me. I have no videographer. I have no audio people. I have nobody to edit my videos. I do it all, every bit of it. I do myself. This is my home. This is where I live. This is where I work. This is where I play. This is it. This is my whole world right here. Okay? And I invite you all to come into my home. And that's what it is. It is my home. And I invite you in. And I'm tickled to death that you're here. But this is not a professional studio. I am not a professionally taught seamstress. Everything that I do, I figured out on my own over my many, many years of sewing. And that is many, 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 many years of sewing. I've been sewing my entire life. My mother taught me, and that's where I've picked it all up. Okay. I did take home ec in school, but I already knew more than the home ec teacher. So by that point, so that's kind of where this is just something I've always loved doing, and a lot of things I've learned trial and error. Um, and I do what works for me, and I hope that it works for you. So if the sound quality is not perfect, I apologize. If the lighting is not perfect, I apologize. And if you can't really see, then I'm trying to do better. Okay? So with all that being said, leave me some comments, and I will see you all in the next one. And thanks so much for watching and hanging out with me here at home.